Welcome back to Movie Cage Match, the only podcast where 2 movies enter, 1 movie leaves. And now, please welcome your host, Damien.
That's right, this is Movie Cage Match, and I am your host, Damien. This week, our combats are 2 massively long classic fantasy films, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Extended Edition. Helping me to decide the fates of these 2 films, we have everybody's favorite troglodyte, Philistine.
Stage.
And a woman of lethal cunning,
Carrie.
Introducing first.
Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain? You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Weighing in at a whopping 152 minutes, we have the 2001 Christopher Columbus-directed Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Keep an eye on the staircases. They like to change.
Good afternoon, class. Welcome to your first flying lesson. Stick your right hand over the broom and say up. Up. Wow.
That was from the trailer for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. It's Challenger.
Legend tells of a ring created by an ancient evil that gave its wearer the power to enslave the world. Believed lost for centuries, it has now been found.
Is it secret? Is it safe?
This is the one ring.
Weighing in at an absolutely gargantuan 226 minutes, we have the 2001 Peter Jackson directed Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition.
No one knows it's here, do they? Do they, Gandalf?
The weapon of the enemy is a gift. Let us use it against him.
You cannot wield it. None of us can.
The ring must be destroyed.
It was made in the fires of Mount Doom. Only there can it...
That was from the trailer for Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, starring Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, and Sean Astin. Right into the show, bicycle@gmail.com, bicycle on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, man.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude?
How much, dude?
You're a wizard, dude.
Carrie, how did you enjoy these 19 hours of film watching this week?
Not even an understatement.
I'm glad I started early because, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because usually I typically watch like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes a night. It took me a long time. Actually, so I split up Lord of the Rings into segments, but we ended up watching Harry Potter with our kids because we figured they could handle that one. So we watched Harry Potter all in one day, which was kind of nice.
Nice. So I want to start out this one. This episode a little bit different than the others. A bunch of setup for these 2 movies. Both of these movies use a concept called the hero's journey, which is invented by Joseph Campbell in 1949. It is basically, you got 3 concepts. A hero ventures forth from the world of the common day into a region of supernatural wonder. So from Lord of the Rings, you have Frodo leaving the Shire to travel to Mordor, and from Harry Potter, you have Harry Potter leaving the cupboard under the stairs to attend the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The second one is fabulous forces are encountered there and decisive victory is won. So in Lord of the Rings, you have the Balrog, and in Harry Potter, you have the Troll and Voldemort. And the third one is the hero comes back from his mysterious adventure with the power to bestow boons on his fellow man. In Lord of the Rings, this one doesn't really apply because we're still in the first installment of both of those. So, did you guys ever hear of the hero's journey concept at all?
I have not.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
You've heard of that, yeah.
I am quite versed in the fantasy ways.
Ooh, well, la-di-da. Yeah, it's applicable to a lot of major franchises over the past few years. Specifically, Star Wars has that sort of the tropes in the hero's journey. MCU, I guess you could say a little bit of that is in there as well. A bunch of the franchises over the past few years that you can apply that to. So these movies were released. Let's see, November 16th, 2001 for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It was called the Sorcerer's Stone in the United States. Philosopher's Stone was the India, in the United States and India as Philosopher's Stone, and the United Kingdom, November 16th, 2001. On a budget of $125 million, it made over $1 billion. Over $1 billion.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. One of the first ones to do that. I think the first one was Titanic, right? I believe so.
Could be.
Could be. $1 billion, yeah. Would the be.
Half of that came from me.
Yep. So directed by Christopher Columbus, like I said, director of Home Alone. I just learned this week, listening to the Rewatchables podcast, it was apparently Christopher Columbus added Old Man Marley as it was not in the original script. He also directed Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Mrs. Doubtfire, and the one went on to do Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and the second one, The Chamber of Secrets. After that, he did Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, and Pixels. Adam Sandler comedy I don't think anybody saw.
I have.
You have seen Pixels.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Pixels?
I've never even heard of it before.
It wasn't great.
Not great.
It's got Peter Dinklage in it.
Yeah.
What's the premise?
Some gamers have to save the world.
Is it a cartoon?
No, it's a movie, and like there's actually like 3D graphics. Is like they turn the world into video games and stuff, and they use video game strategy to take down aliens that are video games of the past and whatever. Kevin James is president of the United States. Adam Sandler is his buddy that never grew up from elementary school.
Gotcha.
So, Deanna,
now I don't have to see it.
Yeah, you don't have to see it now.
Yes, exactly. So, Deanna, can you tell us about Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring?
Lord of the Rings Fellowship released December 19, 2001, at a budget of $93 million, and it grossed $887.9 million. Also, fact check,
yes.
Your Titanic was $1.6 billion, so
1.6
you were correct.
Woo! Nice.
Yeah. Directed by Sir Peter Jackson. Jackson. He is the third highest grossing film director of all time. His films have made over $6.5 billion worldwide. He began his career making splatstick horror comedies. Yes, I said splatstick, not slapstick. Inspired by Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, Bad Taste, Dead Alive, and Meet the Feebles before the LOTR trilogy. King Kong, The Hobbit trilogy, They Shall Not Grow Old. After The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship set in Middle-earth, the ring tells of the Dark Lord Sauron, who seeks the One Ring. The ring has found its way to the young hobbit Frodo Baggins. The fate of the Middle-earth hangs in the balance as Frodo and 8 companions who form the Fellowship of the Rings begin their journey to Mount Doom in the land of Mordor, the only place where the ring can be destroyed.
Mordor. So were you guys Potterheads? I don't remember watching the Potter movies when I was a kid, when they first came out, or the Lord of the Rings movies.
I remember watching some of the Lord of the Rings movies, but I did not see any Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, so I was definitely more Lord of the Rings in the teenage years, just because Potter. I don't. When did that come out again?
2001. They both came out in 2001.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, I didn't mess with Harry Potter.
No.
At back then, Lord of the Rings was more my style. I actually shit all over the Harry Potter franchise for a very long time, and unjustly so. I never read the books, and I always just thought that the previews from what I saw were cheesy. But later on in life, I read the books, gained a new respect for them, then watched the movies, gained a new respect for those. So if I had to choose now, I'd say I am a Potterhead.
Nice. I think I'm going to stick with the Lord of the Rings. I think that's more my jam, like the aesthetic more.
Ringses?
Yeah, I like the wizard stuff. I think you got a better wizard there in Gandalf. I think you got a cooler. You got archers. You got axe guys. You got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I think a lot bigger world too. You know what I mean? It's like the entire world is at stake with the wizard stuff. I feel like it's just Voldemort and Harry Potter, sort of like Goku versus Frieza and shit like that. It's a very small world, sort of like
Well,
what?
I mean, Frieza wanted to destroy the world. Voldemort would destroy the world. He'd rule
Sure.
the world. Yeah, he wants to take out Harry, but
Yeah.
I mean, once Harry's gone, who's going to stop him?
Yeah.
Huh? Who's going to stop him? No.
Exactly. But with something like Star Wars, you have Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, and again with his kids or whatever they're supposed to be, nieces and nephews in the new ones. I feel like Star Wars and Harry Potter both have the same sort of flaws in them, where you have this gigantic universe that you could be playing around in, and you're still stuck with you're zooming in on this one very specific like feud between these very specific characters. So.
Yeah, you are totally right, because you think about Harry Potter and the setting takes place entirely at a school.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go into town for some shit, but not until the later movies do they actually get out into the world, which is a jarring experience because they actually go into like the real world, like London and everything like that. So
yeah,
but yeah, you are right that you got the whole world in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Let's do something we don't usually do, which is go over the plot a little bit. Don't have to go each by a plot point, but so it starts. Harry Potter starts with young Mr. Potter underneath the cupboards, underneath the floorboard or whatever, living with his aunt, right? His aunt and his uncle, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the worst parents ever, would you say? Apex Mountain for worst parents?
No, well, I mean, as parents, they're not terrible because.
Well, they are.
Well, I mean, they're terrible in a different way because they cower to their son, but they give the kid anything that he wants. So, that's not terrible. Now, are they terrible aunt and
guardians?
Yes,
Guardians,
they're terrible guardians.
Yeah. Exactly. I love the part in the early on in the zoo when Dudley, what's his name?
Dudley. Yep.
Yeah, Dudley gets attacked by the snake. It's interesting. Harry can talk to snakes, but he's not a Slytherin. I thought that was a part of it being a Slytherin. You could talk to snakes.
There's more to it than that.
Right.
You dive into that later on in the other movies.
Yes. Yep.
But so being able to talk to snakes is a trait of the most popular Slytherins, such as Voldemort.
Yes. Yep. So then Hagrid comes along, says, "You are a wizard, Harry. You are in fact a motherfucking wizard." One of the classic lines in these movies. You're a wizard,
totally
Harry.
just butchered the delivery. I mean, say it like you mean it.
Yo, wizard, Harry.
Better.
Does Hagrid fuck? You think? Just skipping ahead here. Do you think Hagrid fuck? Because is he a giant? Is he a what is he?
Oh, he's absolutely a giant.
Right.
He's a giant.
So,
but
what, are there female giants?
yeah, have we seen female giants?
You will see female giants.
Ooh, okay.
And I can say for a fact that Hagrid does fuck.
That's
Spoiler alert.
Right.
I've only seen the first movie, so it's hard for me to say.
Oh yeah. He gets his game on later on.
All right. So let's see. Quick trip to Diagon Alley. Gets his nifty wand. He gets a pet owl named Hedwig. Then he goes to school. Meets Ron Weasley and Hermione on the train. So you know right away. I forget if they showed what's the little blonde kid's name? Little blonde bastard.
Draco.
Yeah, Draco. Did they meet him on the train or not? Draco. Not in the movie, right?
I thought they met him when they were like waiting outside the school.
Yes.
Yeah. Outside the school.
I think in the book they met him in the train. So let's see. Along the way, you're supposed to learn rivals to vanquish, mystery to solve. Let's see. Harry, convinced that not at all pleasant Professor Snape is behind it all, goes after the stone to help with help from his friends. Turns out Snape isn't actually to blame. Instead, Voldemort has cunningly disguised himself as the world's grossest boil on the head of another professor, Quirrell, and reached the stone just before Harry does. So there's that scene during the Quidditch game where you think Snape is trying to mess with Harry, but it is actually Quirrell the entire time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Snape was trying to help, right?
Snape
was trying to counter.
Trying to counter it, yeah. In the book, it's something where Hermione bumps into Quirrell on the way to light Snape's cloak on fire. But in the movie, it's just the fire itself distracts them both.
The fire distracts Snape, and he fell back into the people who fell into Errol.
Yes.
Yep.
Real quick, Hermione. Who do we think is the best wizard among each of them? I say Hermione.
At this point, it's Hermione. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now you're going straight off brains.
Yes.
Your ability to learn quickly, and Hermione,
Retain
that's one of
information.
her strengths.
Right. What was I gonna say? Yeah, she over enunciates a little bit, but I think she is the best of the three. I wrote down that Hermione is the best wizard. She is the Sam of the Lord of the Rings. She is like the quiet backbone
of the hobbits.
Of the hobbits. But I mean,
the three companions.
Huh?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has to enunciate though. That's the thing with spells. You're off by a syllable, and you killed someone.
Yeah, exactly.
You really did.
Or you changed something.
Because think about it. You got the abracadabra.
Yeah.
But then you got the killing spell, which is abracadabra. So you're pretty much, there's a very thin line. I'm not joking. That's actually what it is.
Yeah. Just to finish out the plot here, you have Voldemort and Harry fighting. Harry does some spell to Voldemort, send him flying, and then goes back to home during the summer holidays. So that is the Harry Potter plot in a nutshell, very quick nutshell. Unless I missed anything you want.
May I ask some questions?
Sure.
Okay. Question number 1. How did Voldemort get on the back of Quirrell's head in the first place?
They described Quirrell in the book as being an adventurer and explorer. He adventured somewhere in the Middle East, he says. I think in the movie he mentions this. In the book, they go into more detail about him being a traveler. So at some point, he met up with the spirit of Voldemort, and the spirit of Voldemort attached himself to Quirrell.
Okay. Good answer.
Thank
you. Why do Harry's hands turn to like fire? At the end, he burns the guy. How'd that happen?
Oh.
Did he cast a spell?
I don't know. He has some sort of, you mean he
It
made the
seemed
guy
like
into stone.
he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Sure.
He was protected by his mother. His mother's love is protecting him.
Made him fire hands?
Well, Voldemort was kind of, I think he might have separated from Harold at the time. But either way, the guy was coming at him with killing intent, and his mother has a spell of protection over him with her love. That was the spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler because Dumbledore was saying
that,
it. Yeah. So he's basically got a love shield protecting him right now.
Does he have that forever?
No, he won't have that forever.
Why? Mother's love never ends.
Kind of like a statute of limitations, I suppose. Like, or what's it called when you're 18 now? You can leave your
emancipated.
You're no longer you're emancipated. Well, yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
where he's no longer he's now an adult. So he's on his own.
Seems like an odd. What's the word I'm looking for?
Stipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does, right?
Where was that clause? That clause was in the small, tiny print when I signed that contract. Thanks, Mom.
Last question. How come Voldemort's face didn't burn up? How come he could just fly away like that? How come he didn't just die like the professor did?
I think he has this essence, the essence of Voldemort. Like later on, don't we learn about the Horcruxes and all that shit, right? He can't die unless the Horcruxes are destroyed.
Yep.
So does he become a person again, or does he just steal a person's body?
He becomes a person.
Yeah, he gets a physical form.
Does
eventually.
he steal?
He's gaining power right now. That's what's happening.
He's very weak right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that professor was his host.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right. He's like a parasite.
He's over there sucking on unicorn blood and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yep.
Right. And then he can just grow a body?
Yeah. Pretty much.
He doesn't have to steal a body?
Right.
My knowledge is a little fuzzy, but I don't think he steals the body. I think he already kind of has the body. He just needs to be strong enough to use it, I suppose.
Yes, exactly. So let's move on to Lord of the Rings. A little bit here. The summary is a little summary written up. So the prologue, spoken by Galadriel, shows the Dark Lord Sauron forging the One Ring. A last alliance of elves and men is formed to counter Sauron and his forces at the foot of Mount Doom. But Sauron himself appears to kill Eladin. After Eladin falls, his son Isildur grabs the hilt of his father's broken sword Narzel, and slashes at Sauron's hand. Isildur takes the ring and succumbs to his temptation, refusing to destroy it, but he is later ambushed and killed by orcs, and the ring is lost in the river Anduin, into which Isildur fell. The ring is found 2,500 years later, and eventually it comes to the creature Gollum, who takes it underground for 5 centuries, giving Gollum unnaturally long life. The ring leaves him, however, and is found by the hobbit Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo returns to his home in the Shire with the ring, and the story jumps forward in time 60 years. At his 111th birthday, Bilbo leaves the ring to his nephew and adopted heir Frodo Baggins. Dion, want to take it from here?
The wizard Gandalf soon learns it is the One Ring and sends him to Bree with Sam, with plans to meet him there. Frodo and Sam are soon joined by fellow hobbits Merry and Pippin. After encountering and eluding a ring wraith on the road, they manage to reach Bree, and there they meet a man called Strider, who agrees to lead them to Rivendell and help them elude the ring wraiths again. Also traveling with them are the elf Legolas, the dwarf Gimli, and Boromir.
Legolas?
What I say?
Can you read?
What I say? I can't read. Have you heard us read me to the kid upstairs? Have you heard that?
Yes,
Legolas.
I have
What I say?
heard it.
Legolas? What I say?
Yeah.
Legolas?
Sometimes I say things and I don't realize I'm saying them. I'm sorry, everyone. This you don't really ever have me like say
I don't.
things.
I don't.
All right. Let me pick back up.
Yes.
Legolas, the son of the steward of Gondor. Together they comprise. Oh God. The Fellowship of the Ring. In the Mines of Moria, the Fellowship encounters a Balrog, an ancient demon of fire and shadow. At the bridge of whatever, Gandalf confronts the Balrog on the bridge, allowing the others to escape the mines, while he falls with the creature into the abyss below. Would you guys want me to continue?
I'll take it.
This is fun, right?
Yeah. Or Kara, do you want to take it or no?
I'll read.
Huh?
She'll read.
Okay. Go ahead.
The group flees to the elvish realm of Lothlorien, where they are sheltered by its rulers, Galadriel and her husband Celeborn. Galadriel is tested when she tries to convince Frodo to give the ring to her, but she regains her senses and bids him to protect the ring until it can be destroyed. Knowing that the ring's temptation will be too strong for the Fellowship, Frodo decides to leave them and go to Mordor alone. Meanwhile, the rest of the Fellowship are attacked by Uruk-hai, larger and stronger orcs bred by Saruman that can withstand sunlight. Merry and Pippin, realizing that Frodo is leaving, distract the orcs, allowing Frodo to escape. Boromir rushes to the aid of the two hobbits, but is mortally wounded by the orc commander Lurtz, and Merry and Pippin are captured. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli find Boromir, who regrets attempting to steal the ring, and dies. They decide to pursue the orcs and rescue the hobbits, leaving Frodo to his fate. Sam joins Frodo before he leaves, and together the two head to Mordor.
Very good. Thank you.
Whatever.
So, what was Carrie? What was your impression of Lord of the Rings, seeing it all the way through for the first time?
I liked it. I had thought I'd seen it years ago, but there were lots, and maybe it's because it was the extended version or whatever. But I was like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. Maybe I wasn't paying attention that well the first time I watched it. I don't know. Yep. But I enjoyed it.
Nice. Favorites?
A little long, but I liked it.
Yes. So did you recognize any of the memes? The memes in there? You shall not pass, and my axe. One does not simply walk into Mordor, things like that.
Yeah, it's of course the one does not simply.
Yes.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. My precious.
What's the axe meme?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't remember the axe one.
I don't know the axe one.
So they were sitting around. They were talking to the elves, planning to go to Mordor.
Yeah. They're all like, have my sword, have my axe.
Yeah, you have my axe. Yes.
But that turned into a meme.
Yeah, and my axe, like somebody would say, you have my upvote and you have my, like people on Reddit will say, you have my upvote and you have my gold and you have my X and my Ox. So that's that meme.
I think I'm going to start saying that to people.
Yeah.
It might be 2001 old, but
yeah,
it's new to me now.
We've had one breakfast yet, but what about a second breakfast from Merry and Pippin to Aragorn when they're leaving, when they're traveling?
Which one do you find you use the most?
Which one?
In your everyday
in my
life?
head? Yeah, and my axe is a good one. I always think about that one. You shall not pass when I'm talking about my bowel movements. So.
I find that I use one does not simply.
Yes.
And I use that a lot at work.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't catch that reference.
Yeah.
But they'll tell me to do something and I'll be like, one does not simply do X.
Yeah. How did
they look at me quizzically?
Yeah. I don't have it written down, but how did the CGI hold up in both these movies for you both?
I'm not really a good judge of that.
I think it held up fine.
Yeah, both the same.
Yeah, the practical effects actually I found were a little bit more, I don't know, glaring, I suppose. As far as the CGI though, I think I like the Balrog. That was fine.
It was fine. Yeah.
I think if it came out now, it wouldn't be like, the things like Trapped in the Shadows, because it did kind of have like this hazy look to it, but they could always say that, hey, he's in the darkness, like it's supposed to look like this. You're not supposed to have a clear shot at him, but I think they would try to make it a little bit. Remember like Smaug when they had the Hobbit trilogy?
Oh yeah,
yeah. They went to detail with that, so something more like that was what I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. What scenes for you would you show to somebody? We have a category here. What scene would you show to somebody to convince them to watch it? I said the chessboard scene in Harry Potter. The Balrog scene obviously is great in Lord of the Rings. What other scenes would you guys have?
Piggyback on you. Those were both my scenes.
I thought those two too as well, but I tried to be a little bit different. I enjoyed also the scene with Gandalf and what's his name? Saruman?
Yes.
The two old dudes fighting each other.
Two old dudes.
With their magic.
Yep. Spinning them around.
Just magic.
Smashing each other around.
Their special effects.
Yeah.
That fight really bothered me.
Did it?
Watching wizards fight is something else.
I thought it was cool.
The thing is, like, they got to know how to kill somebody, rip an arm off or something, you know?
Yeah.
And instead, they're just kind of like making them each other pirouette through the air. Is it kind of like a Xavier Magneto kind of thing? Where it's I have a respect for you, so I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to establish dominance on you.
Yeah. That's a good...
Yeah, they were friends.
I'm going to take you off like a t-shirt and spin you around my head like a helicopter.
Yeah. Let's see. Would you watch Quidditch? Going back to Harry Potter real quick.
Yeah, dude.
You would? Okay.
Do you hear the way they talk about Quidditch?
Sure.
That is, I mean, if people like watch football for those hits,
we do.
And they took away those hits, player safety, I get it, it's important. But the way that the kid that was teaching Harry, was like, you nervous? And he's like, a little. And he's like, were you nervous your first time? Yeah. He's like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. I got knocked out in the first 5 seconds, and I woke up in the infirmary 2 weeks later.
Yep.
Like, what? How bad of an injury must that have been? And you're watching it, and I mean, it does get violent. Like, you know what I really respected out of Quidditch?
Yeah.
It was guys versus girls, and guys weren't pulling punches, and girls weren't complaining about it. That was great. Like, there was one point where a girl had the ball, and there was a guy and a guy on both sides slithering, and they're just like shoulder blasting her, like Night at the Roxbury style. She's bouncing back and forth, her head swinging. And then they just drop her. And it's like, she got back. Well, she didn't get back up immediately.
Right.
But nobody looked down on that. And I'm like, that's where we need to go with sports now. Just mesh it all together.
Yeah.
Respect.
Absolutely. I didn't make the connection.
Yeah, for sure. Quidditch.
I didn't make the Roxbury connection, but that was a very, very good connection. I like that.
Yeah. And it's cool because they have like 3 separate like games going on. Like, you got to get you're playing basketball. Well, more, maybe like soccer. It's like basketball, soccer. I don't know.
A little bit, yeah.
And you're also like, Harry's got the job his only job is to find the snitch, the golden snitch. And then you just got other ones that, you got your goalie and stuff like that. But there's just like all these mini games being played inside one game. I just think it's fun.
Yeah, it's sort of like a mix.
And you're on a broom.
Yeah, it's like a mix between football and what's that game with the net? On the handle, you have a net and a handle.
Lacrosse?
Lacrosse, yeah, it's like lacrosse a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more like cricket.
Cricket, yes, yeah.
Because they're hitting the ball.
Cricket in the
air.
air.
And plus, there's a little polo too.
Yeah.
Because you equate a horse with a broom,
I do all the time. Would you watch Harry Potter Netflix series?
Hell yeah.
Give it a shot.
They are rumored to be making a Lord of the Rings series at Amazon. I heard this was a while ago. This was like 2 years ago, but the guys that made Game of Thrones were supposedly going to be making that. But I think they dropped off a while ago.
Then never mind.
Oh man, that'd be disappointing.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they didn't drop out of Star Wars because they were afraid for their lives?
Yeah.
And then they ruined Star Wars. Well, it's tough to say that Star Wars wasn't ruined. I don't know. A lot of people didn't dig those last few movies.
Right.
But then to go on to a Lord of the Rings series and just drive that straight into the ground. Like, would anybody have a resume that decorated?
Right, exactly.
Never.
Shit,
Never again.
No. Yeah, major.
I have some Lord of the Rings questions too, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, caller.
So Bilbo is celebrating his 111th birthday. Yes,
111th. Yep.
111, and
Can we put some stank on that name?
Yeah.
Say Bilbo Baggins.
I will not. Was he able to live that long because of the ring, or is that typical for a hobbit to live that long?
I think based on the fact that they mentioned because of what's his name? My precious
Gollum.
Gollum lived a long time because of the ring. So I'm going to say yes, probably. He didn't have it on him the entire time. And the spoiler alert for the last movie, he does age quite a bit. He ages.
Well, it already seemed like it was happening in this movie, right?
Right.
When Frodo comes back to visit him somewhere.
Yeah, he looked
it's
fresher,
like, wow,
but he looked older.
Yeah.
He looks older. So Gollum has the ring for 500 years. Was he a hobbit before he got the ring?
Yeah, he was.
He was a hobbit.
Yep.
So
not a human.
After he loses the ring, wouldn't he die because he's been alive for 500 years?
Right. That's a good question.
But he doesn't die.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
I think at that point he's just molded into that creature now. Probably a part of the ring still with him. That's why he's got like that nose for it all the time.
Yeah.
He'll probably be a ring wraith in the other world.
So Gollum is a store hobbit of the river folk. So I believe the river folk they live a long time, sort of like the elves. I think they're related to the elves, and the elves live for hundreds of years. So I think that's part of it.
Oh.
Yep. So he's
Okay.
He's got that elven blood.
Yeah, he's got that elven blood, bruh. Yep. So there you go, I guess.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
what race would you guys be?
Elven, absolutely.
What race?
Yeah.
Elfin.
Elfin, yep.
Word?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? What would you be?
Gimli's my dude.
You'd be ew.
Wolf. Drink and eat all day and then fight?
Yes.
Hell yeah,
Yep.
that sounds fun.
Yep.
I vibe with dwarfs in these
They
fantasy
like
stuff.
live in a cave?
Huh?
Don't they live in caves?
Well, I mean, they're like decorated. They're halls, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would much rather live in a beautiful elven forest.
Yeah.
Everything's
so.
beautiful.
Think of the mosquitoes, though.
There wouldn't be mosquitoes there.
You guys ever read any Dritz Duarden? I might have butchered
I don't
that
even know
name.
what that is.
I've never actually heard anybody say it otherwise. R.A. Salvatore, he makes these books, a dark elf, but he's got a dwarf friend, Brunor. He's a king. And, he wasn't always a king, but he became a king. And that guy is like my favorite fantasy character ever. But I vibe with the dwarves.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
You want to be an elf?
I want to be an elven, yeah.
You?
I like doing the archery stuff in MMOs and other RPGs. I'm usually an elven. Or I'm usually a high dex character, so I feel like elvens have a high dexterity already. a lot of riches. You can make a lot of money.
I mean, I'm using hammers and axes. I'm pummeling people.
I'd much rather be an archer.
Yep. Archers all the way, buddy.
Yeah, okay. This leads me to my next question. Who's the biggest badass in this movie?
Gandalf, facing the Balrog.
Second biggest badass.
Probably Aragorn.
Aragorn, yeah. Strider.
He kills the big orc.
I'm going with Legolas.
Legolas is my favorite.
Did you see that scene where he was just notching arrow after arrow, like 5 in a row, and they were like point blank range and just pop.
Yep.
And then he just like trails that one dude and he's like, phew, hell yeah.
Yeah, Legolas is the best.
Watching Legolas fight, it's not even like really fighting. He's just shooting really, really well.
Yes.
But like, it's perfection. That's a dude I would not trifle with.
Yeah. No. Going back to Harry Potter,
I like Legolas.
What house would you be? Start off with Carrie.
I actually found a quiz for both of us to take to figure this out because I don't know enough about the houses to decide for myself. So I took this quiz and my largest percentage was Hufflepuff, which Deej said is the house for the normies.
That's funny.
So I don't know what that means about me, but I'm a Hufflepuff apparently.
Sorry. It's funny because the quiz she took had the 4 percentages. And
so I was Hufflepuff, and then highest percentage was Hufflepuff, then Ravenclaw, then Gryffindor, then Slytherin.
And in my head, I nailed it. I wish I said it to her. And then she's like, well, what would you be? And I'm like, Gryffindor. Close second would be Slytherin. So I checked it out. I got that. I got Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. And I'm like, that's exactly the 4 I would organize as well for myself. So I'm going to do something fun, Damien. I'm going to tell you what I think you are.
Okay, go ahead.
You would be Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin.
Ravenclaw. Who are the Ravenclaws in the Harry Potter? I don't even know if I knew any of them. Like name one of them.
Like a brainy bunch.
Oh, okay.
I think Harry's girlfriend later on is from Ravenclaw.
Okay.
And what are the Hufflepuffs? I don't understand what it means. What you mean?
What?
You said Hufflepuffs are just the normies. Like they don't have anything special about them?
I mean, they're compassionate and caring.
All right, that's something.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And when I think Hufflepuff, I just think you. You seem like a Hufflepuff.
Okay.
So you said...
Well, that's
in your face.
So Deanne said I'm a Ravenclaw. I just took the quiz real quick, and it put me in Ravenclaw.
Booyah!
I'm witty, thoughtful, intellectual, and wise beyond my years. I have a creative mindset, and I'm naturally curious about nearly everything. I have a sense of purpose that's driven by discovery and logic. You want answers to so many questions, and you would do anything to find them. Some might call you a bit weird and maybe a little odd, but all the best people are.
And I stick the dismount.
Nailed it.
I'm glad I got that right because I feel like when I was telling Carrie that I could have named all 4 of hers and mine, she was a little skeptical.
Yep.
But then I
Did
hit
you name all 4 of mine in order too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't say it out loud.
And
I said it in my head.
What are Gryffindors? Gryffindors are just the heroes?
Yeah.
I mean, they're the
brave,
competitive. A lot of Gryffindors are like jockey, sporty stuff. Not like the top of the class, but they get the job done.
So Hermione sounds more like a Ravenclaw to me.
She should be, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just wouldn't be the same with her and Ravenclaw.
And what are Slytherins? They're just evil?
Basically.
No. Slytherins get a bad rap. Slytherins are...
Do whatever it takes?
Yes. They'll do whatever. They're motivated. They're not afraid to... They're businnesmen, in a way. Yeah. They'll do what it takes to get ahead. You're absolutely right. It's not that they always, if they're given the path to do the wrong thing, they'll do the wrong thing. It's just they tend to lean that way. Just I don't know, and they have knowledge in areas that other people find kind of taboo, like
the dark arts.
Yeah, the dark arts. But we'll say like for that instance, it'd be like a car salesman,
right.
you know?
Yes, businessman. Yes.
Like the little, they got some double speak in there. They have the tongue of a snake.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I understand. I'm not a Slytherin. I understand why that is my lowest percentage then.
Let's get to some categories. Finish out the Apex Mountains. We did the Caretakers. Best Wizard. I think we can all agree Gandolf was the best wizard so far.
I mean, yeah, because what does Dumbledore even do in this movie?
Right. No, Dumbledore is just a professor. You are right. In feat-wise, I would suppose that Gandalf, sorry. Playing a lot of Super Smash Bros. Lately. Gandalf, he's the primo wizard right now.
So could we give Dumbledore the Kristen Wiig Award for most useless character so far in this movie?
You know what? I That's a better answer than what you had, because Longbottom, I was going to fight you with this one. But Longbottom is not the most useless. Well, go ahead.
So what did Longbottom do?
He was the one at the end.
I understand.
Dumbledore gave Gryffindor an extra 5 points to let them win the House Cup because he stood up to his friends.
But that whole thing was Deus Ex Machina. He could have easily given Harry Potter or Hermione.
Yeah, that ruling system is real sketch.
Yeah, that was the biggest Deus Ex Machina I've ever seen.
So that's why actually maybe Dumbledore can't be the most useless, because he swayed the whole outcome of that Wizard Cup.
So who was the most useless? Hagrid?
The House Cup. I said Luke Youngblood.
Luke Youngblood.
The announcer boy.
Oh. Okay.
That was really his only purpose. Just I don't know why they even needed like an announcer to like oh, here I am, and like they took it a little bit further. Like it's not just like, oh, you got your sports movies and you got the guys in the booth and they're like, oh, it's another day here at Wrigley Field. No, they had this guy going in hard.
Right.
It's like, that's a little unnecessary. I don't know.
Best Christopher Columbus movie.
But I do respect the Dumbledore ad at the last second, though. I respect the Dumbledore ad at the last second.
Best Christopher Columbus movie: Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, or Harry Potter.
Oh man,
Harry Potter.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Harry Potter's
love Mrs.
Home Alone is
Doubtfire.
a perfect movie, I would say.
I would put Harry Potter last on that list.
I would also.
I put Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire above Harry Potter.
How is Home Alone a perfect movie?
It's a perfect movie.
The parents left them at home. Huh? Terrible people.
That's not the point. The movie is perfect. There's no fed on that movie. It's like 83 minutes of perfectness.
I suppose it just kind of stays steady.
Yeah. It's great. They talked about it on the rewatchables this week. It's a fantastic movie.
That's tough. I mean, you're dealing with a kid though, just by himself, and while Macaulay Culkin was phenomenal in his role, he's still a kid, and there was still that lag in there.
Okay, all right. He was great. He was fantastic. One of the best kid acting roles ever.
Better than all the kids in this movie.
Sure.
In the Harry Potter movie, none of
Hermione
them were very good.
Hermione was top notch.
Ugh, she's awful.
She was supposed to be awful. She played that part very well. She was supposed to be like that. Not hoity-toity, super smarty pants.
I thought it was a little much.
That's what she is. Yeah. She is much. I think Ron said that. That's what got him. That's what got him in hot water.
Yeah. If you were doing the Connect category game, you could say both movies have invisibility cloaks. I think Frodo has.
I laughed when I saw that.
Yeah, Frodo has a cloak that sort of makes him invisible. You see this more in Two Towers and in Return of the King more, but his cloak does make him somewhat camouflaged to his surroundings. He does. Best score: John Williams, or for Harry Potter, or Howard Shore for Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna say Harry Potter. It's more iconic. I think you could sing it.
That wizard song.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. All these movies we're talking about today have perfect casting. I think you think about the last 20 years of big movies, big franchise movies. They all are basically hinging on having a good to great to perfect cast. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, even some of the early X-Men's, now the MCU, Game of Thrones had to have perfect casting to make those shows work. Agreed?
I wouldn't say perfect casting. You have to nail the main characters. Sure. And I think we touched on this a little bit last week when we were talking about Harry Potter. I don't think that this Dumbledore was the best Dumbledore. I think the one that comes after him is the best Dumbledore. And I think he was more fit for that role.
How many Dumbledores are there?
2.
Just 2.
Oh.
Well, one of them died.
The first
one died.
Yeah. After how many movies?
2.
I think, was it 2? I thought it was just 1.
I think it was 2.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not impressed. He didn't really have anything going for him in this movie.
But I can't imagine anyone other than Harry Potter being Radcliffe. Like Radcliffe.
Yes.
Yeah, hell, even when he picks a different role these days, it's like I still don't see him in it as anything else.
Yeah.
He's typecast to that role.
A little bit.
What if that's why he's kind of picked these roles where he's just so like... Have you watched any of his other stuff that he has?
I've watched a lot of his stuff.
He plays dead bodies or... Yeah. I wonder if he just does like the extreme opposite. He's like, I'm never doing anything like that again. Like, you will remember me for something else that is the polar opposite by the time I'm dead or whatever. Yeah. My life's a joke.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. I talked about Guns Akimbo he was in a couple weeks ago with not Margot Robbie, the Margot Robbie looking chick. But anyways, he was in that. He was in this movie called Swiss Army Man, which was very good. Yep. He's been in a bunch of very interesting stuff.
He was in a TV series too, The Dark Ages or something like that.
Yeah.
And he always plays like this. Well, maybe that wasn't like a disheveled, like the movies you were talking about. He has like this disheveled, like crazy person aura thing going on. The other one was kind of like he's like a dunce in a way, but I don't know. It's just not what you would imagine his role would be.
Yeah.
So good for him trying to get out of that.
Yeah. So Lord of the Rings took home 4 Academy Awards that year, including Best Cinematography, Best Visual Effects, Best Makeup, and Best Original Score. Harry Potter, on the other hand, was nominated for 3 awards, won nothing that year.
What was it up against?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you, my man. Could not tell you. Let's see. Best Original Score. The scroll all the way down.
Probably Lord of the Rings.
Probably Lord of the Rings. Fair.
Probably.
They came out the same year, didn't they?
They did.
Man, it's a good thing she's here. She's smart.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure. So,
but I'm only a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring won. It was up against AI, A Beautiful Mind, Harry Potter, and Monsters, Inc.
Wow, that's Monsters, Inc. should have won.
For Best Original Score? Oh, the Randy Newman, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I meant Best Movie
original
ever.
Score. I think Monsters, Inc. probably won Best Song. I think song is different than the score. The score and the song are different categories. Monsters, Inc. did, in fact, win Best Original Song by Randy Newman, If I Didn't Have You. Fair, yes, exactly. So let's get to the end here, wrapping up. Best That Guy, Hogwarts groundskeeper Argus Filch, a.k.a. Walter Frey, played by David Bradley.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm disqualified from answering any of these, so I'm going to agree with you.
I was going to say, I was thinking about taking this category out, but then I wanted to hear more of your completely off the mark nominations.
Crazy answers.
He still does not understand what this category
means.
Still
don't get it.
I agree with you, Damien.
Okay.
Good call.
Thank you.
I feel like we can't even say this anymore because everybody recognizes him as Frey now. If anything, when they see him in that...
You don't understand what a that guy is.
Yeah, I clearly don't.
A that guy is an actor who you see him and you go, oh yeah, I've seen that guy in other things, but do you know his name? No. He's not an A-list actor. He's, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know Neville Longbottom's name either, but I see him all the time, being super jacked these days.
Do you see him in other movies or shows and go, oh, that guy?
I would.
But you don't.
Have you?
Have you?
I don't know.
You
I haven't watched his whole library of material.
Yes. He's not a that guy because you haven't seen him in anything else.
So can we just say that
what
that guy is clearly
character actor?
It's like a perspective.
It's a character actor. No. It's not perspective.
Well, no. I'm saying if I have
seen a character actor, look up character actors, and those would be those guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yes, Damien and I are saying the same thing.
Really?
Yes.
You sound like you're saying separate things.
No, we're not.
I mean, I'm getting it right,
yes,
Damien? I'm
yes,
saying
exactly. You're
I'm saying
right.
what you're describing.
When you say character actor, that makes sense. But I feel like when you say can you name something else that he's been in?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you know what his name is?
No.
Then yeah, it's not like he's an A-list actor who you go, oh, there's Brad Pitt. Oh, there's Bradley Cooper. Whoever. It's not an A-list actor. It's like, oh, I've seen that guy before.
What if I could name him? That would disqualify him.
Not really. It's just if
I mean,
you're like,
it's just kind of
it's a C-list actor. It's somebody that's around. He's a character actor that somebody's just been in. He's in a bunch of movies, but he's never the lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We're getting there. Week by week, I learned something from you too.
Let me show you some guys. Like, I'm gonna share my screen. We'll get through this. We'll get through this together. Here, this guy. So you got guys like Peter Stormare. This guy was in Constantine as the devil.
That's that guy.
Octavia Spencer is.
He was also in that. He was in that movie.
Huh?
With what's that guy's name?
Peter Stormare.
Damn. He was in. He's in Fargo.
He was in Fargo.
Did you say Fargo?
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
Did you say he was in Fargo? Did you say Stormare was in Fargo?
Huh?
Yeah. Spencer. Yeah, I said she was that guy.
She is that guy, yes.
No, I didn't.
Scoot McNairy. We have, I'm just going to go through them. Tilda Swinton. Never been in a starring role, but she's in so many things. She's a very good supporting actor. A good supporting actor is a good way to say it. Like, they're always a supporting actor. They're never a main actor. Oliver Platt. Ann Dowd, who's in, I think, what's that show? Handmaid's Tale, yeah.
She's also in The Office. She's Aaron's mom.
Who?
No, she's not.
She looks like Aaron's mom.
That's Joan Cusack.
Is he like, say his name.
Giancarlo
Esposito?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Giancarlo.
Yeah.
Is he like the ultimate guy right now?
Yes, he is, very much so. Carrie.
So we're almost at the point where you can't call him a that guy anymore.
He's very popular. Like, everyone knows his name now, but for a long time, he's still that guy because he's never starred in anything. He wasn't the star of Breaking Bad. He's not the star of Westworld. So he's in Westworld.
What if he becomes like the ultimate villain in a show? He's not the star, but he's the star.
He's a
villain.
supporting actor. So he still can be a supporting actor. Carrie Coon.
Still qualifies for that guy.
Hold on, let me talk. She's in that Gone Girl. She was the sister in Gone Girl. She's in Fargo. Michael Stuhlbarg is a very good example of that. Carrie loves him. Margot Martindale, this person. Walter Goggins. Yes. Walter Goggins is a fantastic that guy. You know him, right?
Isn't that the Deadwood guy?
Yes, Deadwood, yep.
Entourage, yep.
No, I think you're thinking of somebody else. Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. CCH Pounder, great name. She was in The Shield.
Hell of a name.
Yeah. Stephen Root.
Yeah. Shield was great.
Shield was great. Stephen Root, I had him for No Country for Old Men. He was, I think we started this conversation with him. You were like, I don't understand. I understand. He wasn't in that movie very much. And I was like, that's the point. He wasn't in that movie. He was a supporting actor in that movie.
Yeah.
Allison Janney.
Okay.
In The West Wing.
She was also in The Incredibles.
The who?
Carrie got it.
Okay.
She knows what
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm not. I don't.
We got Michael Pena. Fantastic that guy. Shows up in so many things.
Michael Pena, Ant-Man.
Pena, yep. Catherine Hahn, very good that person, that guy. Keith David. Keith David's a fantastic that guy. He's never been in a starring role. You know him, right?
Yeah, Keith David's face.
Yeah, Keith David's face. Yeah. You know that. Yeah, you know that face. Beth Grant. We talked about her a couple weeks ago. She was the in Speed, the woman that dies in Speed. So.
On the bus.
On the bus. Yep. On Speed.
Nice.
Yep. So there are 20 examples I just gave you. Go back and do some homework and come back a couple weeks and hopefully better understanding.
I'll come. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Anyways, Neville Longbottom is not that guy. He's a very handsome man. He has glowed up, apparently. That's what we call that now.
Yes.
And so last question, will Carrie/Dion watch Lord of the Rings 2 and 3 and Harry Potter 2 through 8?
I already have.
I will. I mean, I'm not going to go through it this weekend, but in my lifetime, I will watch perhaps all those movies.
Nice.
I'd like like I said, we were watching Harry Potter with James, and he was interested for a while until he saw the 3-headed dog, and then he was like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
I was like, James, check this out. I think you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
He's scared of dogs anyway, and then you have a three-headed snarling dog, and he was like, "I don't want to watch this anymore."
Yeah. In the notes, though, you say Pippin here. He's the useless character in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
How could someone be useless for summoning the Balrog?
Because you don't want to. That's a bad thing.
Sure, but he did, and that was very critical to the movie. If that didn't happen, then they would have had a...
Later on, knowing what
and
happens.
he does nothing good.
Go ahead.
I thought Lurtz was the most useless
So remind me
character.
who Lurtz is?
Lurtz is the one that gets decapitated by Aragorn.
They credit him with the kill of Boromir, and he shot him, though he didn't kill him. He was going to shoot him point blank, and then Aragorn jumped his ass. And
but
cut
he
his
shot
head
him
off.
through the heart with the.
He shot him in the shoulder, and he was going to shoot him in the heart. But
no, he was going to shoot him in the head.
I was going to shoot him in the head. I was going to finish it.
Yeah, he was.
That could have been any work though. Like all those arrows, they could have got shot by all these orcs. It's just like they introduced I am a master orc. Like why did the orcs need a leader? They knew what their job was. It was to go kill the Fellowship.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
So
all right.
Rotten Tomatoes. Before we spin the wheel, Rotten Tomatoes has for Harry Potter is 81% based on 201 reviews, average rating of 7 out of 10. Metacritic gives it a 64 out of 100. Lord of the Rings comes in hot at 91% on Rotten Tomatoes with 233 reviews. Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars, gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, stating that while it is not a quote, it is not, quote, a true visualization of Tolkien's Middle Earth, it is work for and of our times. It will be embraced, I suspect, by many Tolkien fans and take aspects of a cult. It is a candidate for many Oscars. It is an awesome production in its daring and breadth, and there are many small touches that are just right. So there we go. So, with that, Carrie, did you like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings better?
My vote is for the Lord of the Rings.
Ooh. Dion, what do you got?
I'm a Gryffindor, baby. I vote for Harry Potter.
I will take Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring. Bum, 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 ba-da-bum.
Can I just say why I pick Harry Potter?
Yes.
I don't think we really got into why, but I'm going to say it real quick. I thought Lord of the Rings was very boring.
Okay.
It picks up in the later movies. Obviously, you need to make the building blocks to a world before you finish the trilogy, and that's generally what the first movie does. Combat-wise, I thought the fights were pretty lame. Maybe that's because it was 2001. But dialogue was fine. It's just they're running all the time, and no, don't do this, don't do that. And it's fine. It didn't need to be 3 hours. It felt like it could have been shorter. And the fact that there's an extended cut that made it 4 hours is just mind-blowing. The thing I like about Harry Potter is that even though this is a whole series, each movie wraps itself up smooth. It's like its own story to tell. So that's why I went Harry Potter. It was like its own standalone film. Obviously, when you got a trilogy going with The Lord of the Rings, sailing off onto a river in a rowboat with Samwise Gamgee is really the only direction you can take, and you're just gonna have to accept that. It's a tough pill to swallow. So that's why I picked Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Well said. Carrie, do you want to say any closing thoughts about Lord of the Rings?
I liked that movie better.
Nailed it.
I would also like to say that I don't think I've ever lost a cage match. I think whichever movie I pick has won every single time.
I have it pulled up.
Because, you know why that is? Because Damien and Dion
never agree.
Have only agreed when it was a sweep.
Yeah.
Which has only happened twice?
3 times.
That's good. I think that's good that me and him don't agree.
3 times? Well, it was Knives Out,
No Country for Old Men and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys rarely agree.
Yeah.
So I'm the deciding factor.
That's why you're here. You think about it. I mean, that's where your role comes in.
Gotcha.
Yep.
You need to be able to separate me and him at times.
So with all of that said, Dion, tell us what we may be watching in 2 weeks. What category of movie we'll be watching?
Well, I hit history on the first roll.
Okay.
So my new rule is that if we do a category and I get it again, I roll it again. So if it lands on something else that we've also done, we'll switch it into like history, comedy, history, whatever the next one I roll is, we got to find something in the genre that covers both of those. But we hit a genre on the second roll that we haven't hit yet. Sci-fi. So next week, it's sci-fi.
Fantastic. There are
2 weeks, it's sci-fi.
many sci-fis. So many to choose from.
Is Star Wars sci-fi?
Sure. It's a space opera. It
takes place in space.
Space fantasy, I would say. I'd say more fantasy than sci-fi. I think it'd have some science in there with sci-fi.
Is Dune a sci-fi?
Dune would be. Yeah.
Damn them. Damn them straight to hell.
Wouldn't that be great if we could do like a cage match and it would involve actually seeing a movie in like when it came out and comparing it to an older movie?
Yeah, we could watch Wonder Woman 1984. That is
Wouldn't it be nice?
I mean, that's more fantasy, I guess. Superhero. You have
we would just need to keep doing this for another 3 years before we're let back into the movie theater.
So yeah, we already did Interstellar. When you Google sci-fi, it's a bunch of Christopher Nolan stuff. Inception, Interstellar.
You're right though. Was that before we made the wheel?
What's that?
We did science movies. We did space movies.
Yeah. What was that for though? What category?
So did I hit a sci-fi once?
Did you?
What's that?
What category was that for?
What was Interstellar's?
The Martian.
Martian.
Do you have a
No, I think this happened before the wheel.
Oh, interesting. Okay, still want to do sci-fi though?
I mean, otherwise it's history sci-fi.
Pride and Prejudice and zombies, shit like that. Yeah.
Versus Alien versus Predator.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah, we're doing sci-fi. We're sticking with it.
Okay, great. So that'll be coming up in 2 weeks. So look forward to that. So with that, I have been Damien.
I've been Deej.
And Carrie.
2 thumbs up.
See you later. Bye-bye.